Grief's a bit of a weird thing, especially I think the early stages of it, where you're just kind of lost in a weird mix of emotions. Um, like obviously the main, well, one of the overriding ones is deep sort of sadness that we'd lost mum, but then you also, I guess it's relief. I guess that she's no longer in pain, because when we saw her on Tuesday, she was in so much pain. You know, had a drip, but they had to keep topping it up as well because her body was just in so much pain at that point. But then by Wednesday, they managed to get on top of the pain, and she was a lot more peaceful again. So you feel like relief that they're not in pain, that they're not hurting anymore, but then you feel guilty that feeling that way. Pleased for mum that we were there at the end, that we could all be there, and that Nana and Grandad had managed to come and see her for a couple of hours earlier in the day. My brother had managed to do a FaceTime the night before with his boys. We'd done a quick FaceTime in the morning with my two boys. So she'd managed to see, all her grandsons for the last time. And then mum's brother and sister had made the journey down as well. And they were able to be there and stay. And, and then it's the silly things that you remember. Because, mum was really worried that we were all going to get in trouble. Partly just because there were so many of us there. But obviously, although there's the rules, then when they get to a certain point, they'll waive the rules and go, it's fine. We were in a side room. And then, one of my sisters said about, we're just going to pop out, do our teeth, and then we'll be back. And then she was worried that we were going to get in trouble with the nurses going and doing our teeth. And it was like, no, it's okay, Mum, it's fine, don't worry about that. Because even right near the end, she was way more worried about the rest of us than she was about herself, which was typical Mum. She was a professional born warrior. So it's a weird time because I find little things set me off. Sometimes they're not so little. So we were watching The Lincoln Lawyer the other night, and the episode when Lorna and Cisco get married and they walk under this beautiful rose arch, and it's just in floods of tears. You see a photo or you hear a song and you just think, yeah, that was one of Mum's favourites. So then, yesterday morning, was watching some Animal Park, which, the animal programme set in Longleat, and was something that we'd always watched years and years ago, and then remembered watching it when I was on A-level study leave and GCSE study leave, watching that with Mum then. So it's, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like it's completely not real. This can't be real. This must be some really, really terrible bad dream. And then other times it kind of feels way too real. But a thing that I have to keep remembering is that, Mum was ready. Mum was so ready to go. Might not be the rest of us were not. We were not ready to say goodbye, but Mum was. She'd made her peace with it. And it's... And I know, obviously, things coming up are going to make it harder again. The others went to their favourite beach which Mum has loved for 15 years now. She's loved that beach. And obviously, like, the funeral will be hard as well. But yeah, Mum loved family. Like, her whole world was family. She loved the beach. She loved music. Sometimes, like, my brain seems to find it hard to remember the bits and bobs that she loved, and like, when I think, well, what was her favourites of this or that? And then other times find random memories, like, sort of floating in. I'm like, oh, of course.